Shut up! You don't think Ryan is famous?
Cousin Ryan.
You gotta...
All right, YouTube friends and family, here we go. Our Ectomobile finally runs. Give you guys a little rundown on what's going on here. So, as I had mentioned in a previous video, this engine is out of three. It's been in 3 different demolition derby cars we've built. This is the control switch panel for the demolition derby car. I left it wired in before I wired it to the ignition switch inside the car with the key, because I wanted to make sure we could get this to run first before we changed any of the wiring. That way, if it didn't start, I wouldn't have to worry about, hey, did I screw something up inside the car, or is it still, you know, something within this wiring harness? So this switch right here, this is actually upside down, but this is the equivalent to turning the ignition on with the key. You can hear the fuel pump relay click on there, and the fuel pump run, it primes the system. And then this button right here is the equivalent of turning the key past that ignition point and actually starting the engine. So when you push this, okay, it runs there. So now what I've done, I've taken the voltmeter, figured out that this wire here is the same as the ignition switch. So this is going to get super lame right here, but just bear with me. This is like the redneck fix. So what we're going to do, okay, this is off, that's on, that's off. We're going to take this wire here and stuff it into that side. Okay, now that will feed power to the ignition switch, again the equivalent of turning the key on. And then where did my little screwdriver go? This is the hot side here. This wire is the side, this side becomes hot once we turn the ignition on. This will send the signal to the starter. So we're going to go ahead and just kind of jam these wires in here. This is not obviously the permanent fix to this. This is just as we're testing things out. So that's pretty good there. So let's look inside the car. See, we've got our ignition switch here. You hear the fuel pump run, and then it all works. So I will clean up, I'm going to clean up all this wiring obviously and eliminate this control panel completely. You can see we've got the seat, the ratty old seat in there. That's actually not even the seat that came with this car. That's one Ryder and I pulled out of the junkyard last summer, because believe it or not, it's in better shape than the seat that came out of this car. I did discover, I don't know if you guys will be able to see it down here, there's some lines coming off the transmission down here. We've got a little bit, I don't know if you guys are going to be able to see that, but there's a little bit of a leak there, so I'm going to have to jack the car up and clean that up a little bit. We've got the shift lever in here. You can see this is a automatic overdrive Ford transmission, goes park, reverse, neutral, sorry, overdrive, drive, and low gear. A little hole in the floor there to make the linkage work. You can push this button, pull it into gear. See there that it actually operates. Hopefully you guys can see down in the hole there. But yeah, so that's it. Pretty exciting. Now this is a, you know, I've mentioned in other videos, this is a Ford 302. This car never came with a 302 because 302s hadn't been invented yet. Aluminum radiator that's designed to be the exact replacement for the factory radiator. So all the hoses are in the right place. However, the factory hoses don't line up with this motor, so I had to kind of get creative with this flexible hose here. And the factory hose on the bottom actually works, but I'm gonna have to make like a little bit of a sleeve for it to fit on the water pump, because it's a 2-inch diameter coming out of the radiator and only 1 3/4 inches going on to the water pump. I don't is there anything else you guys want to know? I feel like that's it for right now. I just wanted to share the excitement with you guys, and holy cow. Listen to all those crows, that's wild. Sorry, just a little distraction there. Yeah, I just wanted to share the progress with you guys because it's been a few weeks, and man, this thing's almost road ready. It's registered, it's registered and insured. So that's awesome. Once we get the coolant system figured out, I don't have any clamps on here, by the way. That's why I got to take those hoses off. I was just fitting them on to make sure they fit right. So I'm going to clamp those on today and fill it up with coolant. We've got an air intake that needs to go on here with an air filter. I've got a radiator overflow can that'll go here. That should be here later today. Just little things. It's just all the little things now. But really excited. This thing's gonna be, as soon as we get all that stuff squared away, this thing's gonna be ready to hit the road. Again, I guess that's it. I don't know if I showed you guys this. This is the transmission cooler. I kind of fabbed up a bracket here to hang it on. Those are the two lines I'd mentioned going back. One of them's leaking there towards the transmission. Not a big deal. At least I don't think it's a big deal. Shouldn't be a big deal, but you never know. As soon as I say it shouldn't be a big deal, it could be a big deal, but it really shouldn't. I think that's it for now. Thank you guys for hanging out with me, and hopefully you're enjoying the excitement with me. And until next time, be excellent to each other. Later.
You know, say it's cousin Ryan on the Hollywood Boulevard. You know, say he bigger than any superstar. All I was spit is some real dope bar. Some them sweeter than any chocolate bar. Boom!
Hey.